Hey everybody, and welcome back. Real Talk with Isabel. I haven't been on in a while because honestly, I've had so many thoughts and ideas and they're running rampant in my head and I have ADD and I don't know how to put them all down. That's the truth. So it's like I get overwhelmed and then I just don't do anything and I freeze. I know I'm not alone in this. Having your own business and having this has been extremely hard for me because I have endless possibilities of where I know I can navigate this business and yet I freeze. But that's not really why I'm on here. That's not even today's conversation. I had originally wrote this conversation about manifestation. Yes, I write my podcast out because it's like notes so I can focus, or else I'd go on tangents. But we're going to go back to the manifestation one probably next week because I'm going to try to give you guys podcasts once a week. I've said this before, but I really am going to try to do this. But what I really want to talk about is like how everybody is feeling just really yucky, really heavy right now. And how everybody's realizing like there's this huge shift in the world and we all don't know how to like put words into it because what's crazy is that we're shifting, but it's looking different for each and every one of us. Like not all of us are on the same exact shift. So the energy is just felt off. I know I'm right. I know you guys are feeling it. But you know, some of us it's stress, some of us it's not, some of us is collective energy, some of us it's not. It's just life. It's like there's a mix right now, especially this weekend. It felt like there's been a mix of like frustration, heaviness, awareness, all at the same time. And I've had moments recently where I've just been sitting there thinking like, why does it feel so gross right now? Why does it feel so intense right now? Why am I mad and angry and frustrating? You know, I'm noticing things that I maybe didn't notice before. I'm triggered by things that I'm like, why am I getting triggered by this? Like Mercury retrograde is over. Like, why do some conversations with people just feel off? And for a second, like, I'll literally just be like, wait, maybe I'm overthinking this. I am overanalyzing. I'm being way too sensitive. But then I sit with it and I'm like, no, I'm not. There's something here. Something is shifting. And not everyone is, like I said, in the same place with it. We're all in these like different versions of it and it feels messy. Like I honestly wish I could take like something out there and just be like, I'm clearing the whole freaking world right now. We're all going to be beautiful and glistening and not like yucky and sticky. That's what it feels like. It feels yucky. It feels sticky. And I'm not going to keep this podcast in a negative form just to keep repeating myself. Like we're going to talk about what's going on. But I kind of think like a lot of this frustration is like, not just because people are being negative, it's that we can feel it now. Like I've said before that more of us are empathic, having the ability to, we're taking on other people's energies, or more of us are clairsentient, which is the ability to just feel energy or feel it, right? Like you can feel when someone's speaking from insecurity. You can feel when something is being forced. You can feel when someone's trying to control a situation instead of just being in it. I think this is also, just on a side note, why they're saying like the influencer part of like social media is dying, because it's forced, it's fake, and a lot of these people are insecure. But like we're starting to really tie in and like feel this now to like the point where it's like almost annoying, because before maybe you could ignore it, but now you can't. Now you're sitting there in a conversation looking at this person thinking, or even watching, right? How many times have we like doom scrolled our phones, or we're in reels, or we're in, you know, TikTok, and you're thinking like, I can literally feel the tension and the fakeness of this person. Like, why does this feel like tension? Or why does this feel like projection? Why do I feel drained after this interaction? Like that is a real situation. I had something like, we had the craziest weekend this weekend, by the way, where this was so evident. I'll probably bring this up again today, but like we're at an event and I tied it back to this person entering the room, which I later had an interaction with. But the moment that person entered the room, the whole room shifted. Like everybody started to get negative. Like, I would be interested to know exactly what time this person entered, because the event cleared out. The people that were at my table began to leave. Like, the energy shifted. It just was like, oh, like, this feels shitty. Sorry for my language. I cuss. Yes, I'm spiritual. But like any of us, back to what I was saying, like a lot of us are feeling this right now, right? And I think becoming more clairsentient or more empathic, meaning you're taking on the energy, which is not really the best thing to do. We can maybe do a whole whole podcast on that separately. But being more clairsentient, meaning I can feel the energy. I feel this is going to happen. I feel blah, blah, blah. No one really prepares you for that. Like, no one really prepares you to be able to read somebody's energy or to just read the energy in the room. I don't think we learned that in school. Wish we did. And when we have this awareness into it, just because we have awareness doesn't mean it's immediately going to feel peaceful. It can feel a little bit isolating. You're like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, I'm feeling this. I don't know how to navigate this. Like, this doesn't feel great. Like, what am I supposed to do? So, one, I'm going to say, just because you have awareness of the situation doesn't mean you have to fix it. It doesn't mean you have to heal it. But I would ask yourself, like, what do I need for myself in this moment? Like, check in with yourself. Like, do I need to walk away? Do I need to go breathe? Like, what do I need to do in this moment? Because that's really where the ticket is in all of this. It's learning to ask yourself, like, what do I need to do for myself in this moment? All right. So let's just say that with the awareness as we're becoming and feeling more of this shift. But back to the shift. We often use that word, and you've probably been like, haven't we shifted before? Like, we're always shifting. Incorrect. You're always shifting because you're always evolving and you're always growing. But it's not always like this beautiful experience. It's not always this like, oh, right? It can feel messy. It's outgrowing people. It's outgrowing conversation. It's not being able to fake your energy anymore. It's seeing patterns in people that you used to ignore. And at the same time, part of you is like, can this just feel normal again? But it won't. It's not going to feel normal anymore because that version of you is gone. Because once you see something, you see it. You can't ignore that you saw it. And the truth is, not everyone is seeing what you are seeing right now. Not everyone is feeling what you are feeling right now. You are growing. You are evolving. We can't go backwards. We can only go forward, right? I know many of us have been like, I want to heal. I want to not heal. You can heal your past, but like, if I could do this, I could do that. Like, we can't change it, our past. We can only use our past to heal and move forward. So it's a new normal. It's a different normal. And on again, like, I could actually ask you, like, what exactly is normal? But I'm going to go and explain this on a spiritual moment because you know me, I got to bring the spiritual into it because this part really matters. I remember I did this like TikTok thing. I think it was like towards the end of last year because I was channeling spirit and they were talking about how the 3D consciousness and the 5D consciousness were going to be moving in a way that you were going to see the evidence of them. Like, you were going to be able to see who was staying in 3D and who was staying in 5D. And you can always evaluate, by the way. No one's stuck in 3D. But I remember a spirit saying, like, it was going to become very evident that this is 3D and this is 5D, okay? So I'm going to explain to you what this means, all right? When people say the word 3D, it can get a little bit like, ooh, 3D, or it sounds spiritual in a way that doesn't really land or doesn't have an understanding. It can get overcomplicated. But really, 3D is just when someone is operating from a lower emotional state. That's it. That's all it is, right? Because we have dimensions within dimensions. So 3D is three-dimensional. But just without all that said, 3D is just when someone is operating from a lower emotional state. That's it. It's not about them being less than, which I think a lot of spiritual people are like, oh, they're 3D, or oh, they're less than, or oh, they're behind. Like, no, they're not. I've been 3D. I grew, I've healed, I've done my stuff. And sometimes I get angry and frustrated and slip right back down. And I have to bring myself back up. But this is what it's about. It's about being in a space where your reactions, your mindset, your emotions are being driven by things like anger, fear, insecurity, control. And we've all been there. Not one of you can sit on the other side of this and be like, oh, I haven't been there. Yes, you have. We've all been there. No one's perfect. No one's perfect. There were versions of us that have reacted instantly, took everything personally, felt like we had to defend ourselves all the time. And like I said earlier, like a second ago, I do that still sometimes. I remember I still slip into that. Like, it was crazy to me that like, I don't know how long I've been on this journey, maybe like 10, 12 years. I think it's been 12 actually. But when I was just getting on this journey, I was into boxing. Like, I was sparring people, I was boxing people. And I remember my trainers would be like, when you fight, you get a shift in your eyes. They're like, your eyes shift. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. But I was so angry. I was so mad. I had so much anger in myself. The only way I knew was to hit something. And it was a controlled setting. So I was allowed to spar. I was allowed to hit. I was learning. I was getting fit, but I was so angry. I took everything personally. I didn't know at the time that friends would tell people like, oh, Isabel wants to fight all the time, or Isabel always wants to fight. I remember like the song with Drake, like no new friends, I forget how the lyrics go, but like, I literally remember putting hashtag no new friends on everything because I just couldn't be open and vulnerable to people. Like, I just felt like my walls were always up, always. And now I look back and you could look at pictures of me in that time and I look old. Like, I have 100% aged backwards, but I think I look that way because I was energetically holding so much. I was in survival mode. Because when someone's in that space where they're taking things personally, they're reacting instantly, they have to defend themselves all the time, like they're in survival mode. So everything's going to feel like a threat. Everything's going to feel like attack. Everything's going to feel like I have to respond to this like right now. I have to respond to this immediately. That's how you're going to kind of feel with all of this. There is no, let me, step back, let me take a breath. Like, no, you're in fight or flight mode. Your nervous system is on a high. Like, this is 100% real. And it's hard. It's really hard to slow down and ask, like, what's actually happening right now? Instead, we react. We repeat the patterns that our family taught us or the patterns that we were taught. We stay in the same cycles. Not because like we really want to, because it's literally you've programmed your body in a way that it's a natural instinct and because it's familiar. You have programmed yourself to be this way. And you or those that you know that you are like, oh, I know people like this, don't think they haven't had the awareness to realize that they're repeating patterns. It's just that they don't know how it's familiar. And what's familiar, whether it's healthy or unhealthy, can feel safe. It can feel safe. And that to them is safety. So I'm saying this with compassion because we've all been there. We've all been in a state like this where we're like, we've been where we're like, it's hard to change because I feel safe in these maybe toxic situations or toxic relationships or toxic environments. You might tell yourself, I know how to operate in this. I don't know how to operate over there. And it's true. You probably don't because you never allowed yourself to go over there and you have to retrain yourself. And a lot of people don't want to do the work. But I want us to understand that lower frequency doesn't just mean bad energy. It does not mean that. It means your system is used to that state. I'm telling you this from an like for you guys to understand these wordings. So even if something healthier is available, it's going to feel uncomfortable. Your body, again, is not used to that habit. It's not used to that frequency. Peace can feel unfamiliar. Calm can feel boring. Healthy can feel confusing because your baseline has been tension, overthinking, reacting, arguments, toxicity. Like that has literally been your baseline. And most of you guys have probably got that programming from somewhere in your family. Like, honestly, I know who I was because my family programmed me to be that way. I was brought up to look over and watch your back and to be this fighter. And I had situations in my life that I would just repeat the same cycles, and those were my expectations. So I built these expectations, and then it just was one thing after another. And this is where people start to feel stuck. Like, this is just who I am. This is just how things are. This is just how people are. But you're not actually stuck. You're never stuck. You're patterned. You're in a pattern, and patterns feel permanent until you start seeing them. And when you start having the awareness to see the pattern, that's the shift. That's the shift. It's not becoming perfect. It's not suddenly being healed. It's the moment where you pause and realize, wait, I'm reacting right now. Wait a second. I've done this before. This feels familiar. Wait, this isn't actually helping me. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, that's awareness. That's literally awareness. And I always tell people, you can have the awareness, but it's what you do with the awareness that matters. It's what you do with that awareness that matters, because that's what starts to move you out of it. And I think in the whole collective area right now, that's what's happening right now, is people are being invited into that awareness. People are trying to have that awareness. They're probably able to tell you their traits. They're probably able to tell you what triggers them. They're probably able to tell you their characteristics. And they've accepted it. But some people are being invited into that awareness and not wanting to accept it. Some people are leaning into it, and some people are resisting it hard. And that's where the gap feels noticeable. And this is collective, right? Like, we all know what's going on in our world right now. I don't even want to go there. So you can see that some people are leaning into the change and some people are resisting change. And we're all on these left or right feels right now. But you're sitting there maybe thinking, why are they still acting like this? Why are people still acting like this if they have that awareness? And the answer is, they're still identifying with that version of themselves. That's why. That's why. And at that same time that they're identifying with that version of themselves, you're changing. And it might not be in this loud, dramatic way, because I don't think it has to. Don't think it has to. But it might be in small ways that actually matter more. Like, you don't react the same anymore. You notice things before you speak. You feel energy before words are even said. And one of the biggest ones, you don't feel the need to prove yourself the same way. Like, really think about that. You don't need to explain everything. You don't need to convince people or even try to get everyone to understand you. Having a platform the way I have it, or just being my own personal me, people don't always agree with me. And that is completely okay. I really honestly don't care if you agree or disagree with me. It's not my job to convince you of anything. It's not my job to explain everything to you on why I do something, why I don't do something, why I think something, or why I say something. And I really had to learn that shift, because I think I used to talk way too much. I used to try to explain myself way too much. And I think that's the biggest thing that changed. I remember when I first met my boyfriend, he always will tell people this story about how he became to have this awareness, because we were talking one time and he started to like apologize. Like he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Like, let me explain to you like why I think this." And I'm like, I just stopped him and I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, you don't need to explain to me why you feel a certain way. You don't need to say you're sorry for feeling a certain way. That's your feelings are valid. You don't have to explain it. And he was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Why do you do that?" And I realized he was caught. He realized then he was caught in a pattern. Was caught in a pattern. And he was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't have to do this anymore." It's like, no. And that's where like little awareness for him started to shift. The thing is, it can feel really weird at first because we're used to engaging. We're used to people coming back at us. We're used to people projecting at us, and then we're used to fighting it back. And I'm going to prove them, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to do that. But you got to check yourself. I had to check myself. Because when you start seeing things clearly, you do want to help people see it also. You want to explain it better. You want to shift the conversation. You want them to get it. But not everyone is ready or asking to grow. So don't force those conversations. Don't make someone like, you don't have to heal everyone. Like, that's the thing. You are not this magical healer. Like, yes, I know we could be like, "Well, you're a magical healer." No, that's not what I mean. Like, yes, we heal. Yes, there are magical healers out there, but it's not your job to heal everyone. I don't want that responsibility. Like, I heal those that are ready to create a change. I help those that are ready to create a change. It starts with you. So not everyone's asking to grow. Not everyone is ready to see themselves. And if you keep trying to pull somebody into this awareness, like you probably are like, "It's not that hard. I don't know why they don't get it. Like, let me repeat it." And you keep trying to pull them into this awareness, but they're committed into staying where they are, into their identity that they have identified with. You're going to drain yourself. Like, you're taking energy from you. Like, actually feel it in your body. And then you're sitting there like, "Why do I feel so off after this?" Because you dropped your energy instead of staying grounded in it. This weekend, I had an incident where somebody had said something that wasn't true and my energy dropped. It dropped so fast. I was angry. I was mad. I was frustrated. And what's weird in my head is I knew it wasn't true. I knew in my heart it wasn't true, but I reacted. I reacted because it triggered. I dropped my energy. I dropped it. I didn't stay grounded in myself. And so for today's Monday, like yesterday, I was so drained. I was so off. Even yesterday felt off. I'm finally in the state where I'm like, okay, I'm getting back. Like, I'm probably going to go to the Botanica after and like get some stuff. Like, I'm feeling better. So what I'm learning and still learning is that you can understand people, have compassion for people, even love people. But it's not your job to heal them. It's not your job to carry them. It's not your job to fix them. And without trying to meet them in a space you've already outgrown out of, meaning like this person that said something to me, I could have dropped down and fought her, reacted to her, yelled at her, screamed at her. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I have thought about this in my head, but I've already outgrown that version of myself. Like, that's exhausting to think about going back there. Like, that's too dang heavy for me. I don't want to. It's hard to go backwards. It's easier to go forwards. So that means for you guys, with some of the people, relationship situations, things that are happening or coming up for you, maybe you're realizing like, I'm shifting from I don't want to be around these people, or I don't want to be in this job, or I'm not relating to this. Like, whatever it is that you're shifting, pay attention to that. Pay attention because you're growing. You've probably outgrown a situation and it's really hard for you to stay in that situation. Just let it be. Let it go. Let it go. Let people be where they want to be. Let people be where they are. even if it doesn't align with you anymore. You can control you. You can make decisions for you. So ask yourself, what do you need to do in this moment? How do I need to shift? What do I need to do? Not about them. But know that if you've been feeling frustrated or disconnected or like something just feels different and you can't fully explain it, you're not alone. And you're not becoming negative. You're becoming aware. Okay? And there's a phase where awareness feels heavy before it starts to feel like peace. And I'm in that process too. I have to remember that also. So maybe just think, what's something lately that just hasn't been feeling the same for you? All right. Love to hear from you guys. Hope you enjoy this podcast. Sit with it. Make sure you guys also can join me on Patreon. My Patreon community is rapidly growing. I'm posting more just quick meditations over there. There's content over there. Make sure you follow me on TikTok and YouTube. Definitely working on those, the YouTube growing as well. And share, like, comment, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day, night, evening, afternoon. I don't know. Bye.